As the city moves forward with its controversial plan to construct its borough-based jails, questions remain about the impact on local communities. CBS 2's Natalie Duddridge shows us the dismantling of the Manhattan Detention Center has been contentious, not only about the rebuilding, but also the public art on the building, some of which has been lost forever.
These 7 painted murals depict the New York immigrant story from the early 1900s to the late 20th century. Detailed friezes, which are like sculptural paintings, along with complex metal sculptures, told rich stories here. This was all part of a public art project commissioned in the 1980s by the Department of Correction to adorn the walls and plaza of the Manhattan Detention Center complex.
It's not for the jail, it's for the neighborhood, for the whole Chinatown.
The buildings are being deconstructed for a larger jail, and in the process, the murals were destroyed. It was only after threatened lawsuits that the rest of the art was salvaged and placed in storage on Rikers Island.
Oh God, I was so sad. I really felt so sad. Like they're taking one of my members away and put it in jail at the jail.
Kit Yin Snyder, now 89, is one of the artists originally commissioned for this project. She said it took about 7 years to create these metal pieces.
This is my legacy, and now it's all gone. So what can I do? There's nothing.
We met Snyder along with artist Richard Hawes, who is 87, who created the complex murals and friezes at the Ye Gallery at St. John's University, where models for the original installation are on display.
Very nice. Yeah.
I think I made some pretty good choices back then.
It's fascinating as a public artist, all of the work that goes into the making and the proposal process and the drawings and the models and the maquettes, all of that work rarely gets seen.
Max Warsh is the gallery director. Haas's friezes were eventually saved, but the murals were painted directly on the building and could not be salvaged except for one small piece.
And in the foreground I had these 2 children. This one happened to be my son, who was by then about 9 or 10 years old. When we started this project, he hadn't been born yet. Well, they said, we're going to chop this out and save it for you.
The art was paid for through a program called Percent for Art, allocating 1% of the building budget for public art commissions. And it was through the city's Visual Artists' Rights Act that some of the pieces were eventually saved.
They're artists, they want to create, not litigate. We're here to protect their rights.
Robert Friedman is an attorney working with them on a pro bono basis.
We are going to continue to pursue that to the extent that they want us to pursue it, for them and for the community.
It's an important example of, public art and its significance within the community, and you can really see how the community came together to kind of stand up for the artists and advocate for their say.
And while Haas agrees the loss of the art was devastating,
the Chinese community was absolutely apoplectic about the whole process, and they protested it in every way possible. Kityan and I were part of one of those protests.
Both he and Snyder, as accomplished artists in the public sphere, are still concerned that even their surviving work may be lost forever.
The more the public knows and appreciates that which has been given to them in the form of public art, great architecture, whatever, has to have the people accept it, cherish it, and fight to preserve it. And that's the only way things really get saved in the end.
In Lower Manhattan, Natalie Duddridge, CBS 2 News.